Welcome back to Face the State on this Sunday morning. It's always a big win when a business decides to come to Connecticut. In this case, it's a movie company. They want to make a film about a local legend, Willie Pep. And with us here today, the writer and producer of this project, Steve Loff, and James Matteo,
yes,
who is going to be starring as Willie Pep,
yes,
in the film. And you do look like him. Gentlemen, thanks for being with us here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
For those of us who do not know, because Willie Pep has been gone for quite some time, who was Willie Pep?
Well, Willie Pep is one of the greatest fighters to ever live. Has a ton of records, a local hero, and it's a story that's never been told, and now's the time to tell the story.
And he was born and raised in Connecticut, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Middletown, is it?
Weathersfield. Born in Weathersfield in 1922, Weathersfield, Connecticut.
And why should people know about him? Tell me about his life in a nutshell.
Well, the record stands out first and foremost. 229 wins, 11 losses, and 1 draw. Fought over 3 decades. And like Jim said, one of the greatest fighters of all time. A name that the casual fan doesn't know, but should know. And I think our film will solidify that legacy.
Why did you decide to make the film?
Well, Willie had quite the life. I was sitting at my desk when I lived in Hollywood, and I had a picture of him up on my board, and Steve was in LA taking meetings, and he saw the picture, and he said, "Who is that guy? He looks just like you." I said, "Well, that's Willie Pep. My father just sent me a picture of him and said to look him up." So he said, "Well, let's look him up." So we looked him up together. And then we found, all this information on him, and we just said, let's kind of develop this film. It's an important story. We want to honor Willie, honor his family. So.
And his real name is Guglielmo, right? Or
Guglielmo Papaleo.
Yeah.
There you go.
Guglielmo.
yeah, it was too tough.
Guglielmo.
Guillermo. So, well, there you go. And it was, but it's spelled G-U-G-L-I, or,
Yeah.
it's a difficult name to spell. So let's talk about where you want to do this film, what you're looking for while you're here in Connecticut.
Absolutely. We're looking to film in this fall, 2019. We would open an office here in town in Hartford, looking at the old Colt Armory. There's a space there. And we'd prep the film for about 5 or 6 weeks, and then film for 4 weeks, mid-October into mid-November. That's the plan right now. So we'd be in town 10 to 12 weeks, almost 3 months. And we'd spend, as far as economic impact goes, we're looking to spend about $1 million to $1.2 million in Hartford over those 3 months.
And how does it work? Do you bring in a company, or do you have to hire people? How does that work?
Sure. So we'd come in and set up shop, the creatives, the producers, and we'd hire as much of the local crew as we can. And then where that falls short, we'd bring in crew from New York or Boston and put them up at local hotels.
Are there locations that you foresee being used?
Oh yeah, there's some great boxing gyms, the hospitals that we scouted, the exterior, some social clubs, because Willie had a lot of good friends. But we had a blast. We came here a few weeks ago and spent 2 days scouting locations, and it's just perfect.
What's the time period of this film in terms of when it takes place?
1964.
65.
1965, and so obviously you need some period backgrounds and
exactly, yeah.
cars
And
things like
not much has changed as far as like the street lights and the signs and the buildings and some of the old houses. So we'll take advantage of that.
And the reason I heard about this project is because I was asked to look for some old film that we had. We'll show you a little clip of it. This is Bob Steele interviewing Bill Lee from the Hartford Courant, and he was talking about his memories of Willie Pep. Why is this important in this video?
Well, Bill Lee is a character in our film.
Okay.
And Bill Lee was important to me in my research as the writer. I spent many hours in the Hartford Public Library pouring through the Hartford Courant archives, and his long-running column, With Malice Toward None, brought me closer to Willie Pep and his essence and who he was as a fighter and a man than any other source material that I found. So Billy is very special to the project and important.
And of course, Bob Steele was a legend here in Connecticut, working here at Channel 3. And of
This
course,
is a wonderful piece of footage, and thanks for pulling it out for us.
Yeah, we were lucky we had it still up in the attic.
This will be very useful to the actor that is cast as Bill Lee. He will study this piece of footage.
Good to hear. I want to ask you, in terms of dealing with the state of Connecticut and dealing with the city of Hartford, in terms of setting up a project like this, is it easy to deal with compared to other states?
It's kind of new for us, but as far as logistical, Hartford seems very easy to get around. It's a smaller town, and people seem very open to working with us. The office, Mayor's Office of Special Events, has been very helpful. We've been in communication with them, and most importantly, the Connecticut Film Commission has extended a welcome to us, took us around to see some locations, and they're guaranteeing us a 30% tax return on our spend, which is very helpful at our budget size. We'll use that 30% up front. We'll monetize it through a loan, and that will be a portion of our production budget. We'll raise the difference in private equity. So, yeah, open arms from the state and the city. We met Mayor Luke Bronin in a visit back in January, very enthusiastic about the project. He wants to bring this kind of industry into town, bring the jobs, bring the film industry. And like I've said, I think PEP will not only, our project will not only tell PEP's story, but could open the door for other film productions to come in. We could lay a groundwork for an infrastructure to produce other films.
Always good news. And James, one last question. When do we see this film?
Well, hopefully you see it in 2020. There's a couple of large festival markets that we'd like to run, Sundance, Toronto, but you know, that's sort of up to these guys and the producers. I'm just ready to get to work and get out here and start running and training and, you know,
learn how to box right now.
Learn how to box.
Gentlemen, thanks for being with us. Steve Loff, James Matteo.
Thank you so much
Best of
for
luck
having
with the
us.
film.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thanks for watching Face the State on this Sunday afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow back here in the news. Our next news is tonight with Kevin Hogan.